Now that we've dry fit this thing together, right before we glue it, there's a few things we need to do. First off, you'll notice that where these mortise and tenons come together, there's these little slots that were cut with and filled in with little wedges to help get those in there. So we're gonna get those. And also you'll notice even on the round ones, we're gonna do that as well. Another thing we need to do before we glue this together is we're going to cut this a little bit smaller, kind of tapered on the top here as it comes down. All right, go ahead and just measure down from the top. We're going to come down 24 inches and just mark a line. And we'll do this to both sides, measuring up 1.5 inches from that back side to the front. And this is where we're going to be drawing a line to cut a taper on there. We want to make sure we do this on the front side, marking those. We'll go ahead and disassemble it and then connect those lines there to draw those tapers there. And we could get a straight edge to do this if you'd like, and we're just going to go from each mark, or you can just grab a board with a flat straight edge and line it up between your marks there and just trace that taper on these legs here. And we just want to make sure that gets held nice and tight, get that line nice and straight, and we'll get it done on both of them, and we'll head over to the bandsaw and just trim these off. And just remember to leave your line when you cut on the bandsaw. Take your time on this, and then any spot that we didn't get right up to the line, we can bump it on a sander and get it down to the line. So we'll just be careful when we make these cuts, nice and straight and accurate, and make sure we get those tapers on the right side there. Jump over to that edge sander and just go ahead and sand it right down to your line. We got to be careful not to make it too small, but let's get all the bandsaw marks out. If you still see a little bit of bandsaw marks, keep sanding. And let's get those both sanded all the way down on both those edges there. Now, if you notice on the top here, it's just kind of rounded over on that front edge and then just a little bit of slight round over on the back edge. Really, you can do whatever shape you want. We'll just make sure on the front side here. I just find something already round and just trace it. Like this little paint can here, I'm just going to trace that little curve. You can use whatever pattern you want or just draw a curve if you'd like, but I find sometimes when I want to draw something round, I just find an object that's already round and trace it. So we'll get that done. And then that little back side here, I'm just going to kind of freehand or just draw whatever shape I want this to be. If you'd like to make this just fully round the whole thing, you can. You just kind of fancy it up a little bit. We'll go ahead and trim off most of it on the bandsaw and then get the rest of it on our little disc sander or belt sander just to get it all smoothed up as we get going. So I like to use this disc sander when doing this, and you can just kind of pivot it and make it a nice, smooth, gentle curve right down to our line. And we want to make sure that both of these match on the left side and the right side as we're doing this. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and get all of our little front back stretchers and side stretchers here. These are going to need to go into these holes that were drilled into the legs. And in order to get those round, we've got this router here with a little 3/8 inch round over bit and a little stop block. So as we turn this on here and run all 4 edges of this, it hits against that stop's about 2 inches over, and then that way we can get this round little tenon on the end of this. Kind of a neat little setup with the router that you can set up a stop. And this board is a 3/4 inch thick board, and with the 3/8 round over, that should make a nice, perfectly round hole. Now it's a little tight. I'm going to run it again, make sure I get good pressure down on this, make sure it gets cut perfectly there. So if you run yours and it's a little bit tight, maybe run it a second time and just see if you can get a little bit better pressure. And that should, if we did it right, yep, just slip right in, just like that. So it's a good 3/4 inch round tenon on these. And we'll go ahead and do this to all of our little stretchers here. These are the longer ones as well as the shorter ones. You should have 2 longer ones and 4 shorter ones, and get both ends of all of these rounded over. Sometimes if it's tight, and you can just take some sandpaper, maybe just sand it a little bit, smooth it up, just kind of get this thing so it can fit in there. We don't want it so loose that it just drops in and wiggles around everywhere, but we want it nice firm fit. A little closer up view, kind of how that stop block works to get these round. And we just kind of get all 4 sides. And if you do it a second time, usually it fits a little bit nicer. And so if it's a little tight, just get some good pressure on this. Make sure your board is also 3/4 inch square first. So if your board is a little bit thicker than that, you might have to get that trimmed down exactly for that to fit. So we'll go ahead and get all these trimmed up and round it over on the ends on these tenons. Just make sure these all fit in those little mortise holes there that we drilled earlier. So you got your longer stretchers here and then your shorter stretchers, these are side ones. Looks like they all fit, and these ones should just bottom out in those holes there. Looks great. And we'll need to next go ahead and cut some slots. This is where we're going to put a little wedge in here to help tighten it up in there. And the length on this, we really only need to go about 1.5 inches, maybe even a little bit less than 1.5 inches on here for that slit that we're going to cut. And just go ahead and mark this right down the middle, again about 1.5 inches long, maybe just a hair less than 1.5 inches. And I like to just take a pencil and just draw where I'm going to be cutting on this. We'll do this on both ends of each of these stretchers here. Now again, this is only going to be on the long front and back stretchers, as well as all of our rails. So this is that rail 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on these, we're just going to draw that slot right where the thickest part is at. So these rails are going to have 2 slots on each end here, right on that thickest part there. You can kind of see where we're doing that. And again, the length on these, about 1.5 inches, maybe just a hair less than 1.5 inches. We'll get it on both sides, doing it to all those tenons that we did on that panto router, right in the middle, highest part there. So we'll get them all marked out, draw these nice and straight, and remember, we're only doing this on the longer ones, not these shorter ones. So put those ones aside. Don't cut slots in those short ones. So on these front back stretchers, and then the rails 1, 2, 3, and 4. So go ahead and mark all these out. And if you want to use some kind of straight edge to mark these, that's fine. If you want to freehand it, just try to draw them nice and straight. And get on the thickest part on those ones where the rails are at. So I just line it right up on the first thickest part, just kind of mark it. We'll go ahead and take this apart, take this over to the bandsaw, and we're just going to go straight in, back out, right where we marked all of our little slots. We're going to cut both ends on those front back stretchers, and then we'll get all of our rails cut here as well. But go nice and slow, keep this nice and straight, and be really careful not to go too deep, especially on these ones. You don't want to go into the spot that you're going to see. So we're just going to go on those little tenons, just a little bit in and then straight back out. But it's right on that bandsaw. We got all of those slots cut on each of those rails and also our little front and back stretchers there. And before we assemble this, there's on this front legs here with this rail, we're actually going to cut a little curve in the front of that because that's where those seats are going to go. So if you look at this one here, that's that front rail, and we're going to cut that little curve. So we'll trace this little pattern I have here on here, bandsaw, sand that out, and then we'll get ready to assemble these as well. Another thing, if you want, before we assemble, some people want to maybe put a laser engraving or some image on all these back slats, so when it comes together it has like a nice image. If that's something you want to do, just talk to me, that I can get you set up and do that before we assemble as well. All right, so just be careful, get that pattern lined up exactly where you want it. Trace that little curve on there, and then we'll head over to the bandsaw, cut this out. Again, anytime we're on that bandsaw, make sure you leave your line. Do not cut off your line because we can always sand it right down to your line. What we got to do next is get all these little wedges, which are going to go into the slots So as these come through those mortises there and fit in there, we're going to cut some wedges that'll then just fit right inside there. We'll put some glue on it, put it in there with the rest of them. And in order to cut these wedges, now I've got a whole bunch of wedges already pre-cut, but you're going to need a total of 20. And in order to do that, I've got a little jig that I made for the bandsaw. And there's multiple jigs that you could use for cutting these wedges, but this little jig, I'll show you how it works. So we just have a little slot that goes in the miter gauge slot here, slips right in, and then that way it'll just slide in and out. And we just take some little strips. These are about 1/8 inch thick, maybe closer to 3/16, and about 3/4 inch tall. And then they just fit into this little jig here, and it just slides right into that little slot just to hold that firm. And we'll cut that in, back it up, and then we've got a little slot here in the middle that we're just gonna slide it into and make our second cut. You'll see it when it starts working. Just make sure we hold this board nice and firm as we do this. Just go straight in, back it up. You'll get that little wedge piece off, and then just like I showed before, line up on that little line, straight in, and just cut that little piece off there. Again, that makes your next wedge. And we'll just repeat this process, making sure it's held in there nice and firm. And we need, again, 20 of these little wedges that we're going to make. And feel free to make some extra if you'd like for the next person, but you'll need at least 20. But try it out. These little jigs are pretty slick, and there's lots of different varieties of jigs for cutting these little wedges. I've seen some other jigs different ways, but this one works really well. It's nice that the pieces kind of stay where they're at. They don't go flying. And a little closer up view here. Again, make sure the front of it's right wedged in that little strip there. Straighten back out, and then holding your board in the slot right up to that line. But go ahead and get all your wedges cut. All right, now it's time to start assembling this and gluing it together. We're going to start with just these back slats, get some glue in these little mortises here. Now, if your back slats are nice and firm fitting, you probably don't even need any glue in this. But if you want to put just a little bit in there just to make sure it all straightens up. And then we'll go ahead and add some glue to our tenons on all the rails, spreading that around. One suggestion on this, obviously let's have some paper down or something so we don't get glue everywhere, but it would be nice to maybe have a friend or a helper with this to make this process a little bit faster. There's quite a bit that you have to get glue on everything and getting everything lined up. Just spreading it around, getting it all covered, make sure everything's lined up in the right spot. You'll notice I'm also putting some glue into these mortises here. It'll just make sure we get good coverage everywhere, as long as we've got plenty of glue on everything here. We'll go ahead and start assembling it, put them all together, get them all lined up the right spot here, and get this all figured out. On mine, I don't know if you noticed on that, I actually had this backwards at first, so I caught that luckily and flipped it around. I wanted those holes for the front mortise to be facing the right way. So put it back together. Let's get some clamps on this, and the placement of these clamps, let's just make sure that we're not going to be right where the tenons are at, and so get the clamps kind of spread out in between. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these little wedges in, put a little bit of glue in, tap them in with a hammer, and get everything lined up straight on that. I just add a little bit of glue to the wedge, tap it in there, and this is going to tighten those up really firm. So I get the clamps on first before I put the little wedges in. That way it's all held real tight, and then the wedges will just extra reinforcement there. So, and those wedges go in, tap them in enough that it just spreads that tenon open enough that it closes up any gaps and all that. So I do like to wipe up some glue, just save some time so I don't have to do so much sanding later. But we'll get all that glue wiped up, get this whole thing in these clamps, and let's leave it in here. Plenty of time to let this dry. And again, getting the glue off now will save you some time so you don't have to sand as much later. Don't forget the front legs. Let's get these ones doing as well. Get that little front rail, glue on those, the little front stretcher pieces as well. Glue in all those mortises, getting them all lined up. Make sure that that curved rail is facing the correct way. You can see the bottom of this is where those slots are out on the legs and your curve's facing up. And we'll get the clamps on here as well. Another thing I like to do is put a little spacer board, just a scrap piece of wood, measure it the same exact length that the rails are, and wedge that there so when you put these clamps on, it doesn't go crooked or anything. Get those wedges in there, glue them in, wipe up that glue, and we'll let this thing dry. All right, I got them all glued up, got those wedges in there. I tell you what, this would have been a lot easier with a helper. So take your time on it. Definitely needs to have everything prepped and ready before. So we got all these glued up. Leave them in these clamps, let that dry. And then obviously where these wedges are sticking out a little bit, we're gonna be grinding this all down, sanding it down. If any of them stick out quite a bit, we can chop these a little bit closer, maybe saw them with a little hand saw. But then we're gonna sand it all down flush. And we should have our back and front glued up.